Okay, so let's dive into this incredible story of three mysterious monks who basically challenged everything we think we know about spiritual teaching. They showed up without saying a single word, armed with nothing but laughter, and you know what? They sparked a debate that has lasted for ages. It all starts in a dusty village square, where these three monks just appear. But they're not here to preach. They're not offering any lessons. In fact, they won't even speak. They don't have any names. They don't belong to any particular school, and they're definitely not trying to sell you anything. So what do? They just stand there in the middle of everything and laugh. And it's not a little chuckle, you know. It's this huge, warm, unstoppable sound. It's almost like they suddenly remembered the universe is a bit ridiculous and just decided to forgive it. And the craziest part? It's totally infectious. Pretty soon, the entire village is laughing right along with them, and nobody really even knows why. So this, of course, raises the big question that gets some of history's greatest minds thinking. What is actually happening here? Is this some profound spiritual teaching we're witnessing, or is it just a clever way to avoid all the serious parts of life? Well, the first challenge comes from the Zen master Hakuin. He kind of steps forward to moderate this imaginary debate. He's determined to get right to the heart of what these monks are doing, and he poses a question that cuts right through all the noise. So yeah, how do we tell the difference? How do we know if this joy is the real deal or if it's just a distraction? Is it like a quick nap for the soul, or is it a genuine awakening? Well, a few different minds have tried to tackle that exact question. First up, we've got the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He offers a really practical test. He says, look, the proof is in what happens after the laughing stops. Does it make you more virtuous, more courageous, more just? He argues that just feeling relieved for a moment is not the same as being free. True freedom for him makes you a better person. Then there's the Tibetan yogi Milarepa, a guy who knew a thing or two about suffering, and he offers another test. He says authentic laughter has no panic in it. It's fearless. It doesn't try to build a wall to keep pain out. Instead, it's so big that it can hold that pain without getting swallowed up by it. And then the Taoist philosopher Zhuangzi comes along and just flips the whole idea on its head. He suggests that maybe it's our own ego, the tight stories we cling to about our own suffering, that can't stand up to laughter. Laughter just loosens that grip and helps set us free. Okay, so the debate is fascinating, right? But this is where the story really gets going, because this whole philosophy is about to face its most dramatic test yet. This isn't a debate anymore. This is real life. The story takes this sudden, very serious turn. After years of traveling and laughing together, one of the three monks passes away. The ultimate test of their whole philosophy has just arrived. Now, this is where it gets really challenging for people to understand. In what seems like a shocking display, the two remaining monks, they don't mourn. They don't weep at their friend's funeral pyre. They just continue to laugh softly, which, as you can imagine, confuses and even offends some of the villagers. And this forces the most difficult question of all. Is this an act of profound wisdom, a way of honoring a life that was lived in pure joy, or is it just a profound disrespect to the seriousness of death and the reality of grief? The answer doesn't come in words. It comes in a final, absolutely brilliant prank. As the funeral pyre is lit, the dead monk's last wish is revealed. Turns out, he had secretly sewn a bunch of fireworks into the seams of his robe, just for this moment. And in that one moment, everything changes. The fireworks show everyone that their laughter isn't about mocking grief at all. It's about holding grief inside of something bigger. It's a fearless laughter that basically says, I refuse to add extra suffering to something that already hurts. And for one bright, beautiful moment, everyone is free from fear. But okay, let's be real. What about personal suffering? The kind of raw, immediate pain that doesn't feel like a cosmic joke at all? How does this philosophy work when life is just hard? This is where the poet Rumi brings the whole debate right back down to earth with a really crucial question. This isn't about some grand philosophy anymore. This is about simple compassion. What good is a cosmic perspective to someone whose pain is right here, right now? And on this point, all the philosophers agree. The right answer isn't a lecture. Real compassion is about presence, it's about action, not abstract ideas. You don't just tell a grieving person to laugh. No, you sit with them, you share what you have, you offer simple, quiet companionship. And the story itself shows us exactly how this works. One of the monks sees this woman who is just tired and sad,
He doesn't say a word, he just sits down nearby, offers her a small dried plum, and lets out a soft laugh. He's not demanding that she feel joy, he's just making a little space for it to maybe eventually come back on its own.
So, after all the debates, the fireworks, and these quiet acts of kindness, what's the final takeaway from this really strange and powerful teaching? What's the echo that's left after the monks have moved on? The core teaching, it seems, isn't about just ignoring everything serious. It's about using joy as a kind of tool. A tool to see what's really important, to keep our hearts from getting hard, and to find strength. And the final test is simple. Don't just trust the laugh itself, trust what comes out of it. If it leads to love, to virtue, to freedom, then it's real. Rumi gives us this beautiful way of reframing the whole thing. The pig joke isn't that we suffer. The real surprise, the cosmic punchline, is the wild, persistent, uninvited way that love and connection find us, even in our darkest moments. So ultimately, this teaching isn't some blissful escape from all of life's problems. It's a kind of radical acceptance. The punchline isn't that life is easy. The punchline is that life is hard, and our real job is just to support one another through it all, to help each other breathe. And that leaves us with a final, powerful thought to really chew on. What if the goal was never to solve our own pain or to somehow get to a place beyond suffering? What if the entire point is just to turn to the person next to us and make their burden just a little bit lighter?